When I was thinking about starting a podcast in 2018 and having a voice and realizing it was a lot harder than I thought, and especially creating content weekly and having it worthwhile for people to just stop and think and ponder and take action. But I'm back now. I was having a conversation just last week. And in the conversation, I said, life is ultimately a 4-letter word. Let's make it our own 4-letter word. And she said, I love that. I said, I say it all the time. So I thought, in order to start this brand new, revamped podcast, Create Your Future Without Excuses, it really is to try to make life our 4-letter word. So many times, though, in any of these podcasts or books, they talk about absolutes. There are no real absolutes. It's just my thoughts, my passion, my consistency, my showing up, my excitement on the fact that I was put on this earth to truly help you and help me create the life I love without excuses. No more BS. Life's going to happen. You're going to fall down. You're going to get up. You better get up, because that's how you do it. So I take my yellow tablet and I've been writing notes and I'm like, what do I want to say? How do I want to say it? And I know that ultimately for me, I just need a guideline. I need a foundation, and then I need to let it flow on how I feel on that day. Then I'm going to record it, or I am recording it. And then it's for posterity. We can go back to see how I felt on that particular day at that moment when that podcast launched. But in order to create the life you love, in order to create a life without excuses, in order to ultimately make life your 4-letter word, I think you have to have a foundation. I think you have to have a mindset. I think you have to be able to create something that you can hold your hat on every single freaking day. Every day. Again, it doesn't mean it's perfect, right? We say we're going to read every day. Well, to be honest with you, I don't really read every day. I read most days. Say you're going to move your body every day. Well, I don't really move my body every day, but I certainly do it most days. And I start with a positive mindset. Now that's every day. And in the moments when I don't have it, it just kind of pisses me off. And I try to dig inside and think, why is it like that? Why am I kind of off kilter? And I jump right back in the game. And the more you are centered and grounded and have principles and a mission and a vision, the quicker I believe you can come back to center to what you want, why you want it, and when you want it. Then it goes into thinking, okay, if life's a 4-letter word, what are my founding principles, my founding thoughts, which ultimately I spout out daily as daily Danish, which was really one of my first, no, not one of, it was my first hashtag on Twitter. I have no idea how long it was. And my Twitter name was ENAD67 back in the day. I guess it's still out there. I haven't done anything. I'm not a big Twitter guy. But either way, and then when I started to create, and my sister was the one in California that was going back, as I was potentially changing careers and finding my own voice and creating my future without excuses and creating the life I love, she's like, you need to brand yourself. You need to call yourself, whether it's Dane Boyle or whether it's Trainer Dane, in every platform, and be you, be unapologetically you, and do it every single day. And then what do you believe in? And we would sit at her dining room table, we'd open a bottle of wine, and we would just have conversations. And at that time, she literally told me that my biggest drawback would be my education, because you're taught to do it a certain way and a belief system a certain way. And then over time, you've got to create it your way. And she was probably right. But here I am. And today, in episode 1 of Create Your Future Without Excuses, I want you to start to believe and do and take action, because life is a 4-letter word. So how are we going to do it? I am a list maker, by the way. So I'm going to go through, and they may or may not be in any particular order, about several things that are implanted in my life every single day. And if you follow me on Instagram, or you follow me on Facebook, or you're in either any of my private coaching groups, I'm always going to post something that says, wake up and be amazing. Because that sets the groundwork every day to put a positive spin. Know the sun is going to come up. Even on a cloudy day, the sun's up. We just don't see it. It doesn't mean every day is perfect. It doesn't mean that you're not going to spill your coffee. It doesn't mean the kids aren't going to piss you off. It doesn't mean your car's not going to start. What it means is that you have sun, you have light, you have hope, you have dreams, you have a vision. Every day is a great day. Wake up and be amazing. And I'm going to go to every day is a great day in just a moment. But wake up and be amazing. It's kind of funny. So I really should trademark that. And maybe I'm putting it out there. Maybe you'll do it before me. I don't know. But when I got divorced, and I was getting rid of all my crap, and it's the first time I realized that it's just crap. It's just stuff, and it can all be replaced. But I collected coffee mugs and pint beer glasses from trips, from events. And I was like, I don't need them. I need one good coffee cup. I need my trusty dog. And that's all I need. So I put them in a box. I dropped them for Goodwill, and that was it. Well, guess what I have in my cabinets today? I've got a ton of pint beer glasses. I got a ton of coffee cups. And I rotate them. And every time I take one out, if it's got Maui on it, if it's got Mexico on it, if it's got the Muir Woods on it, if there's a beer glass that says Rock and Roll Marathon Las Vegas or the San Francisco Marathon or whatever, it just puts me back in that moment. A memory comes into my head. I smile, or I think, man, that event, it was cold, it was wet, or the bus broke down in the Muir Woods, which it didn't. But if it did, I would remember that. If you haven't been to the Muir Woods, I highly recommend it. And if you're not a man or woman of faith, I'm telling you, you see those sequoia trees, you just know there's something bigger than us out there. But now in my cabinet, again, I've got a ton of pint beer glasses. I've got a ton of coffee cups. And as I was arranging them probably 10 years ago or so, I reached way back in the top of the cabinet on my tiptoes, and there was a mug that said, "Wake up and be amazing." And I said, that's it. That speaks to me. That's what I'm going to tell everybody every day. I've now created my own brand, my own logo, creating a stop and a store so that you can have a coffee cup, you can have a pillowcase, you can have sheets, you can have whatever it is, stickers that say "Wake up and be amazing." So you remind yourself every single day. When I go in the back of my truck, it's that big "Wake up and be amazing" sticker, and I just kind of smile. So that's where it all started. Then it was a mindset, and it really is something that simple, that mundane, something that you could see every day, that I probably bought that mug for $1.99 at TJ Maxx or Ross or something like that. And I remember the day I broke that mug, and it was kind of sad, because when I go to I didn't go to coffee shops for about a year, but when I go back and do work or I meet people, I always take my own ceramic mug, and they know me now, and they know my name, and I broke it, and I was so sad. But then I went and created my own. So anyway, I want to challenge you to wake up and be amazing. I want to let you know that every day is a great day. Every day is a great day. Where did that come from? I was I started out as a middle school coach. I was already 29 or 30 years old, so I was the old guy on the staff. Inexperienced maybe in leading kids or football or basketball, but I was the most experienced in life. But I would get to the field house in the morning. I'd put my bag down, put my lunch in the fridge, and there was Coach Z with his feet up, mustache, dip, back in the day, read the newspaper, black coffee. And I'd say, "Morning, Coach." And he would respond, and I would say, "How are you?" He says, "Every day's a great day." And I'd just kind of shake my head like, this guy's so full of crap. I'd come in the next day, the next day, the next day, the next year, the next 2 years. And that was always his response. And somewhere along the way, I decided, you know what? He always seems happy. Why wouldn't I want to emulate that? And I made that part of my mantra every day to make sure that I get to control life instead of life controlling me, to make life my 4-letter word. So the next time somebody asks you at the grocery store, at work, wherever you might run across a human being that politely asks you, "How are you?" smile, throw your shoulders back, make eye contact, and tell them every day is a great day. Hey, you know what you could do? You could follow that with "Wake up and be amazing" too. And now you're going to hear me say "Wake up and be amazing," whether it's noon, whether it's midnight, because it's a power surge of adrenaline to let you know that you are put on this earth to make a difference and to let yourself know that you're here to create the life you love. I want you to take responsibility for your actions. My guess is the majority of people are going to listen to this, share this with their friends, write a review, subscribe, are adults. And you, my friend, need to take responsibility for your actions where you are right this minute. You're right here, right now, today, because of the actions you have taken. Take responsibility for them. Some of them may hurt. Maybe it wasn't the best choice at the time, but it was a choice you made at the moment. Sometimes you're going to have to apologize for your choices. Own them. In the management world, I would tell my staff, if you make a mistake, come tell me. We'll own it. I'll defend you. I'll protect you. But take responsibility. I'll go to the higher ups and tell them and explain it. We're going to come back and we're going to work on a solution to make it better the next time so that you don't make the same mistake. Take responsibility. Take ownership. That leads right into embracing the crap. It's probably, when I get to my last point or message today, it's probably the most important one. But embracing the crap means that you know that life is dirty. Life is ugly. Life isn't fair. My old man used to tell me that all the time. I would fuss. I have 3 younger sisters, and I might have to take out the trash or wash the car or paint the fence or mow the yard. I don't know, shovel snow. I grew up in the Northeast outside of Philadelphia before I moved to Texas in 8th grade. And I would say, that's not fair. And my dad's response was, life's not fair. It's not fair. But when you embrace that, and you know that because of the trials and tribulations, the fact that dad made me, say 50% of whatever the cost for my bike was, and I didn't like that. I just wanted to buy me a bike. I wanted name brand shoes for the first time in my life. And he was like, you're growing like a weed. I'm not buying you name brand shoes. And in a month, your pants will be too short and your shoes will be too small. Same thing. I had to shovel sidewalks, mow yards. I'm so old that I used to throw newspapers, actually an afternoon newspaper. But I did save it, and I did earn the value of $1 or learn the value of $1. And I wore those shoes with such pride, and then they freaking fell apart. My dad thought it was the funniest thing ever because he spent, whatever the price of the shoe was at the time, and I spent double on my first pair of Adidas shoes, and I thought I was awesome. They were blue and green, 3 stripes of Adidas. I remember them. Maybe you can buy them today as a retro shoe. I should look that up and post a picture. I don't really know if they're available. I hadn't really thought about it for a long time. As you wake up and be amazing, as you know every day's a great day, as you've chosen to embrace the crap and you're taking responsibility, look, extra effort is the key to success. That little bit extra. And the analogy in fitness is that one rep that you don't think you can do, that you take a big breath, that your trainer, that your coach gets down on his hands and knees or her hands and knees, and they're down there with you on that push-up. Like, John, I'm going to do it right with you. I believe you can do it. Like, I've got nothing left. I said, I need you to believe in yourself like I believe in you right now. So on the count of 3, with your hands under your shoulders, your core, your abs in nice and tight, you're going to come out in that push-up, and you're going to push up, and you're not going to look like an inchworm. You're going to lock it out of the top. And when you're going to hop up, brother, I'm going to be the biggest high five, and you're going to feel fucking good about it. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, up. Here we go. Boom, lock it out. Awesome. High fives. Boom. That extra effort will make all the difference in the world in everything that you do. That 1 extra minute of reading, that 5 minutes that you got up earlier. What is that extra effort? That retaping of your video to make it so you feel good. That podcast that you were afraid to start, that you did it, that you had to stay up late. And you had to be in a quiet room, and now your kids were asleep. That extra $1 you had to go earn, that extra client you had to book. What is it? That extra project that you took responsibility and leadership for. What is that extra effort? It's often the part of all of our journeys that nobody sees. It's that last mile in the dark. Nobody sees you get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and hit the road on a cold day. Nobody sees you necessarily at the gym. Nobody sees that. What they see is the end result. What they see is that you're confident, positive, looking better, feeling better, walking taller. And they want what you have. And comparison is the thief of joy. But when you talk to them, you're like, look, man, I get up earlier. I sacrifice a little bit of sleep in the morning, but I go to bed earlier to make sure I get my 6 to 8 hours of sleep so I feel better, so my body's recharged. So what is that extra effort that's ultimately going to allow you to say, you know what, life, you're a 4-letter word. I'm going to own it. I'm going to say it out loud. Because it doesn't matter what you do. What matters is you do it. Consistency beats intensity every time. George Bryant's been saying that. I've been coaching it for years. It's slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady. The tortoise really will beat the hare. It's a marathon. It's every single day. I was talking to a champion today, and I said, here's one thing I can tell you, brother. So my ass is going to show up every day. My ass showed up to train, to coach, to lead when I was doing that. Then I was cleaning out my car, and I was driving for Uber and Lyft, and I would go, 50 to 40 miles away. I'd go give a certain amount of rides to make $50. I'd come back, load all my stuff up, jump on training, coaching, leading on Friday mornings. And I would drive, and I'd do whatever it took. Because that extra effort, because I wanted to be where I am today. If I looked back 3 years, if I looked back 6 years, I'd be so happy with what has happened, what's transpired. Now, when we do it, sometimes like, oh, I want to be better. I want to have more success. I want to have more money. I want to have a bigger house, a bigger boat. I don't know what it is, nicer clothes. But what happens is, or what matters is that you freaking do it. You show up day in and day out, even on the days you don't want to. James Clear tells you in Atomic Habits that the difference between an amateur and a professional is an amateur, when it gets tough, stops. A pro's going to show up even on days he or she doesn't want to do it. That's the key. You got to love recording at home, dogs barking in the background, but so be it. I didn't realize I didn't close the doors or anything like that today, but that's okay. I don't care, because I'm not going to stop. I'm going to talk. And it's all about free verse with just a couple ideas to help you think about how you can create your life without excuses, how you can make life your 4-letter word. The next 2 things I just want to talk about briefly, maybe not briefly because I don't have brief in my bones, is that dreams don't have an expiration date. I want to challenge you to dream big, dream often, and dream out loud. What did you want to do? Where did you want to be? I need you to put a pause, stop, think, hold on, don't go anywhere, grab a drink, grab a cup of coffee. All right, I'm back. But I want you to think, where were you? Where are you? Say 3rd grade. You had your little backpack. Maybe you put it in your cubby. Maybe you put it in your desk. Mrs. Jones was teaching, and to your right is the window to look at the playground, and you were just staring out the playground. You're looking at the slide. You're looking at the swings. You see that kickball on the ground. You see that big stick. And you're thinking, man, I could go play. You're thinking, with that stick, I could slay dragons. And that's what you did. And you went out and did sword fight until you got in trouble because you weren't supposed to do it. Where's that kid? Where's that kid? Where's that kid that just had dreams and hopes, hadn't been kicked in the throat by life? That kid that had a dream. Where is that kid? I want you to dig deeply. I want you to look inside your soul and tell me what lights a fire on your soul. And when you find out, I want you to pour gasoline on it. I want you to light it on fire. I want you to make life your 4-letter word. What is it? Not one moment of my life when I decided to create an LLC, or I decided to resign my position as a hospital-based wellness center, did I look at my chronological age. I barely looked at my bank account, but I just said, I'm done. It's time to move on. And I've been working at it ever since. I've been showing up every day. I've gone through the trials and tribulations. I've gone from getting my truck repossessed. I've gone from turning in other material goods before they got repossessed or turned to collections. But I'm here now. And damn it, I'm creating the life I love. One moment, one interaction, one podcast, one high five, one handshake, one Zoom call at a time. Every day, because I chose to wake up and be amazing. I chose to make sure every day is a great day. I'm embracing the crap. I'm doing all those things. I'm making sure that it doesn't ultimately matter what I do, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it. And every day I'm going to continue to dream big, dream often, and dream out loud. And remind myself that dreams don't have an expiration date. And I'm always going to remind myself that today, the moment is the most important day of my life. You're not guaranteed a tomorrow. So make today your Monday. Quit saying I'm going to lose weight tomorrow. I'm going to start Monday. Quit saying I'm going to write that book tomorrow. Today's your tomorrow. Quit saying that you're going to call a friend and tell them you care about them, you're thinking about them, or ask that girl or guy out on a date. Do it today, right now. Take action. You're more afraid of the consequences and being rejected. But you know what? When you get rejected, you embrace the crap. When you realize that today is your tomorrow, when you embrace the crap, you realize that you probably didn't get 100% on every test you ever took. You probably didn't get every job you ever applied for. Maybe it's just me, but I didn't make 100 on every damn test. Haven't gotten every job I applied for, but I didn't stop applying for jobs. I didn't stop taking tests. I wasn't told you suck, never come take this algebra test again. I wasn't told you suck in college, you're never going to get your degree. What I was told was, hey, you didn't know the information. Go back and restudy, retest the next time. When the job situation, and some of them I think about, it was a blessing because they knew I wasn't the right person. And the same company called me back, two different companies at 2 different opportunities to say, you know what? I think we have an opportunity for you. And this is the right position for you. One of the first jobs I applied for in a hospital when I was an undergraduate was to be a file clerk or medical records clerk. And that job would have sucked for me. Being in a closet long before all electronic records, right? And putting x-rays and files away by myself in solitude. That is not me. The next position that they called for let me be out amongst the people, talking, sharing, guiding, because that's where my light shines. And although you may not be able to see me right now if you're listening to the podcast, my light is shining. I'm standing up and then sitting down and then moving and then closing the doors. But I imagine that I'm talking to you one-on-one. One-on-one. You know how else you can make life your four-letter word? I want you to live the life you have right here today, knowing today is your tomorrow, while you build the life of your dreams. Where do you want to go in 3 years? I'm going to come back with an entire episode talking about your vivid vision that I've done and I've shared and I learned. Now I'm going to pass it on to you because the best way to learn is to teach. So when you build your life, your dreams, where do you want to go? How do you want to get there? Are you just waking up? Are you eating? Are you sleeping? Are you using the restroom and doing it over and over and over like Groundhog Day? Or are you truly embracing the life you have, taking joy in the ordinary so you can build a life of your dreams? I watched my parents do that as a kid. They never told it to me that way. But again, and for those that have followed along or been part of my journey, you know that I talk about my dad a lot, but I'll say my mom was in the background supporting him, taking care of the kids. But they decided to take a middle-class family living outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in rural New Jersey, and take that and all of a sudden tell dad or coach dad or teach dad that he was going to be a doctor to change our stars, to give us more opportunities in life. So he didn't become a physician until he was 35 years old, and I was in the 8th grade. So he knew that dreams didn't have an expiration date. He knew he could dream big, dream often, and dream out loud, or my parents both did. He knew they had to take action, and today was the most important day of their life. He knew that, like you, that he was meant to do hard things. I know he worked multiple jobs. He went to school. He would put me in the car. I'm 8 or 9 years old, allow me to listen to Philadelphia Phillies games on the radio. He could have cared less about sports, and I loved them. But how did I get to spend time with my dad, who wasn't my little league coach anymore, who wasn't always at your little events at school? He would put me in the car. We'd spend all day going pick up lab samples all across southern New Jersey. And he was teaching me at the time, distance equals rate times time, or D equals R times T. I had no idea. And we would do the math. He would say, how fast is that tractor trailer going by you, that 18-wheeler? He would say, it's so many feet long. I would count 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. We'd do the math. And I could say, oh, wow, he was doing 75 miles an hour. I didn't even know he was teaching me at the time. It wasn't until I finally learned that formula. I'm like, man, my dad never missed a coachable moment. He never missed a teachable moment. That's who he was. And you know what? When I think about it, it's exactly who I am. He's meant to do hard things. He didn't want to miss his kids' upbringing. He wanted to be in their lives as much as possible. And he embraced it, and mom embraced it. The most important way, I believe, that you can make life your four-letter word is by never wasting a heartbeat. That was also another Coach Z saying, the guy that I said earlier, I said, every day is a great day, who said, never waste a heartbeat. When you think about things like that, right? When you think about all those things, when you think that, you know what, I'm going to make sure that today I'm taken care of, and I'm going to make sure that I tell those I love them, and never assume they know. When you randomly text a friend and say, hey man, I'm just thinking about you, life is different. When you know life is precious, when you lived on this earth long enough and you've lost too many friends and family from disease or violence or whatever it might be, you realize every moment, every breath, every heartbeat is valuable. You're a miracle that you're here. We're all miracles that we're here. You're blessed because you have the time, energy to actually listen today. Again, to comment, to share, to take the trainer challenge, whatever it is. So never, ever waste a heartbeat. If I always say when I talk about creating a life as a four-letter word and grabbing your daily Danish and waking up and be amazing and every day's a great day and dreams don't have an expiration date and dream often and dream out loud and those kind of things, really I could sum it all up into one phrase, and that's don't waste a heartbeat. Don't waste a heartbeat. It is hands down the most important thing I can ever teach you. I'd love to know what resonated with you today and how to make or create the life you love. But ultimately, today was about understanding and learning that life is a 4-letter word. So I'm going to ask you to message me on Facebook or Instagram, or send me an email at dane@daneboyle.com with a subject that said life is a 4-letter word, and talk to me. Tell me, what did you hear? Wake up and be amazing. Every day is a great day. Take responsibility. Embrace the crap. Extra effort is the key to success. Dream big, dream often, and dream out loud. Dreams don't have an expiration date. Today is the most important day of your life. Live the life you have while you build the life of your dreams. You're meant to do hard things. Never waste a heartbeat. And I can recite them from memory every day. You know why? Because I live them, I breathe them, and I challenge you to do exactly the same. I challenge you to do exactly the same. I challenge you to do it, to live it, to breathe it, to do it one day at a time, to do it one day at a time, to do it one day at a time. Each episode of Create Your Future Without Excuses is always going to have a trainer challenge. Last week, your trainer challenge was to text somebody, let them know you are thinking about them, and expect nothing in return. And I want to thank everybody that reached out to me personally and told me they did it. And then we had a conversation from there. Then this week, your trainer challenge, should you choose to accept it like Mission Impossible, is to tell somebody you love them and never assume they know, and let me know that you did it. That's simple. Mom, I love you. Son, I love you. Dad, I love you. Never assume they know. Embrace if that's how you show your affection. And I hope you'll walk away with a smile on your face, because together we're going to create the life we love. We're going to do it without excuses. At the end of the day, we're going to make life our 4-letter word.